Hello there everyone. So we're going to move on today to algebra, okay? And I know for some of us that's a bit of a, it's a bit of a worry because you struggled a bit with algebra last time. But we'll go through nice and slowly, okay? Nice and slowly. We're going to be solving algebraic problems, okay? Now the aim is that all of us, after 2-3 weeks, we'll all be able to do these, okay? Most of us can do that, and some of us will even be able to solve these problems. Okay. Now, the work we're going to do today, a lot of you will be able to do it in your heads, but I want you to please write the methods that you taught, because when you come to do these, okay, the harder it gets. You can't do it in your head. You have to have the methods. Okay. So can you please write the short date and learning objective in your book? Okay, pause the video while you're doing that, then press play when you are done. Okay. Right, let's start off with a simple algebraic equation. So let's go for x minus 4 equals 6. Now, if you find with an algebraic equation, what that means is you have to find the value. You have to find the value of x. You have to find the value of x. Now, actually, we can do this one in our head, can't we? Because it's a bit like the question of what take away 4 equals 6. And you can work out there the 10 take away 4 equals 6. Okay, so really with algebraic equations, you just find the value of the missing letter. Okay, whatever the letter is. It doesn't have to be x. It can be y. It can be z, a, b, c, whatever. Okay, you're finding the value of the missing of the letter. So it's kind of just like the missing number is the missing number. Now when we come to do these, okay, now obviously if we give let's have another question. 7 plus t equals 14. Now the method I'm going to show you today is called the balance method, and you will, as I say, you will be able to do most of these in your heads anyway, but please, when you come to do them in your books, use this method. Now with the balance method, what we need to be doing, we're going to do some calculations, and we need to be left with the letter just on one side of the equation. The letter set on one side of the equation, so we need to find t equals. Okay, so in order to just have t on this side of the equation, I want to get rid of this 7. Okay, now this is this 7, although it hasn't got a sign next to it because it hasn't got a minus there, it's a positive 7. So in order to get rid of that, I'm going to take 7 away from it, because 7 take away 7 is 0. So because this is a positive 7, I'm going to take 7 away from it. Okay. Now this is called the balance method. So I also take 7 away this side. So I do the same to both sides. It's the balance method. So 7 take away 7 is 0. So that leaves me with just t on this side. 14 take away 7 is 7. T is equal to 7. Okay, t is equal to 7. It's called the balance method. Now I know you can do that in your head. I know the temptation is to think, why am I wasting my time doing it with this method? But I promise you, it'll reap the benefits later on when we're doing the harder stuff. Okay, so that's the balance method. Let me just show you another one. Okay, let me show another one. Another one which will be a fairly straightforward one. So we go 41. Let's look at this one. 41 is equal to x plus 23. Now, this is when I'm doing this equation here, and it doesn't actually matter which side of the equal sign x is. Now remember, all this equal sign is telling us that the value on this side of the equal sign is the same as the value on that side of the equal sign. Now when I get to these sort of equations, I like to swap them over. So I'm just going to turn that to x plus 23 is equal to 41. Now those two statements are the same. Those two equations are the same because this side has to balance with that one. Okay, So, and I do that because I like to be left with just my x on the left hand side, okay? You don't have to do that, but I would advise you to start off by doing that, okay? So now let's have a look. I want to be left with just x on this side, so I need to get rid of this positive 23. This is a positive 23. In order to do that, I need to take 23 away from it, don't I? I need to take, let me just change the color with that. Okay, in order to get me rid of that positive 23, I need to take 23 away from it. Now, because it's called the balance method, if I've taken away 23 on this side, okay, I have to do the same on this side, minus 23. So x plus 23 minus 23 leaves me with x. 41 minus 23, okay, 41 minus 23, what's that, 17, 18, I believe, okay, equals 18. X is 18, and I'm just going to check if I'm all right. 18 plus 23 equals 41. That's correct, okay? So I'm doing it using the balance method, okay, using the balance method. Let's look at another one. Let's see one where we can perhaps use a negative number. Let's go with, right, okay. So 9 is equal to r take away 5. I have to find the value of this r. First thing I'm going to do, because I like to swap them around, I like to have my r minus 5 on this side and my 9 on that side, okay? So r minus 5. So now, using the balance method, I want to be left with just r on this side of the equation. Now, to do that, this is a minus 5. To get rid of that minus 5, I have to plus 5, don't I? To plus 5, because if we have a look, minus 5 plus 5 gives me nothing, doesn't it? Okay, so I want to get rid of that minus 5. Now, it's called the balance method, so whatever I do on this side of the equation, on one side of the equation, I have to do the same on the other. So this is a plus 5 there, a plus 5 there. 9 plus 5 is 14. R is equal to 14. R at 14, take away 5 is 9. Okay, and you can see by using the balance method, I've been able to calculate that without too much difficulty. Okay, one more example, and you can have a go at some yourself, I think. Let's have a go with minus 56 is equal to k minus 40. Now I have to find the value of k. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to swap them around. K minus 40 is equal to minus 56. Okay, so I need to, my first step is I want to be left with just k on this side of the equation. Okay, k on this side of the equation. So I have to get rid of this minus 40. How am I going to get rid of the minus 40? I'm going to add 40 to it, and I'm going to just put that in a circle. Okay, and I'd like you to do the same when you come to do yours. Add 40 on both sides, because it's called the balance method. I'm going to add 40 on each side. So minus 40 plus 40, and that will just leave me with k on this side of the equation. Minus 56 plus 40. So minus 56 plus 40, remember minus 56, if I was to add 10 to that, I get minus 46 and so on. So that will actually give me minus 16. So just be a little bit careful. Some of the trickier ones where it involves quite large negative numbers. Okay, let's have a little look if that would work. Well, minus 16 minus 40 would give me minus 56. Okay, and I've used the balance method to find that. Okay, right, have a go with these first set of questions, please. Okay, have a go at these. Please write out the sum. Okay, do the balance method. So you'd write at the sum and you think, right, I want to get rid of that minus 6 in brackets, minus 6 on both sides, okay, and work it out from there and just check your answers, okay. Have a go with those 6, a couple of extension ones on the at the end, then press play on the pause the video while you're doing those, and then press play to go into the next part of the lesson. Okay, hopefully that was fine. Hopefully that you were okay with those. Now we're going to do some so let's have a little look at some other questions. So now we've got 3r is equal to 36. 3r is equal to 36, and we have to find the value of r. Now, remembering from last time, 3r means 3 times r, doesn't it? 3 times r. So this side is a multiplication. We're multiplying. Now, we still just want to be left with r at the end. We still want to be left with r. But because this is 3 times r, last time we did the opposite of adding. If it was an add and we subtracted, or if it was a subtraction we added. So we do the opposite of multiplying. So this time, to get rid of this 3 times r, we divide it by 3. Okay, so 3 divided by 3 will give me 1. Okay, 1r, I'm left with r. So I just divide that number by itself. Because I've divided on this side, because it's the balance method, I divide on the other side as well. I do the same to both sides. How many 3's are in 36? That would be 12. Let's have a look. 3 times 12 is 36. R equals 12. And I've used the balance method by dividing them, but doing the same to both sides. Okay. Let's have a look at another one. Let's do one with we'll just do 108 is equal to 9u. Now again, I like to have my letter to the left hand side of my equation. So I'm just going to swap them around because it doesn't make any difference. Let's say the equal sign just tells me that this side is equal to that side. Okay. Now I want to get rid of this 9 times. So I do the opposite of times and I divide by 9. Okay. Which leaves me with u. I do the same on this side. Divide by 9. How many 9's in 108? 12. 9 times 12 is 108. Okay. So it is the same principle as the last time, but this time, because we're multiplying here, because this is a multiplying, we divide to get rid of the 9. Okay, and we do the same there. Okay, and we do the same on the other side. Right, let's have a little look at, and these are a little bit trickier. So say, for example, you've got x divided by 3 is equal to 4. Okay. Is equal to 4. Now this time it's x divided by 3. X divided by 3. So what I have to do, I do the opposite of dividing. Okay, to get rid of this divided by 3, I'm going to times it by 3. I'm doing the opposite. Okay, because I've times by 3 on this side, I times by 3 on that side. Okay, so here we've got, now we're left with just x on this side of the equation. Because I've got rid of the x divided by 3 by timesing that by 3, I'm left with x. 4 times 3 is 12. X is equal to 12, and that does work out here, doesn't it? 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, and I've done the same to both sides. It's the balance method. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Let's have a look. Let's go with 5 is equal to d divided by 9. Now I have to find the value of d. Now I like to put my letter on this side. Divided by 9 equals 5. Now to get rid of this divided by 9, I'm going to times it by 9. Okay, I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to times it by 9. So now I work out that I'm left with D just here. 5 times 9, 45. Okay, D is equal to 45. Let's just deal with, and sometimes they can be a bit tricky ones because they involve negative numbers. We'll do one question with a negative number. Don't worry too much if you're struggling a bit with the negative number questions, because we will have lots of practice. So let's have a look. 5 is equal to D divided by minus 4. Okay, so let's just swap that over. I like to have D over minus 4. That equals 5. I want to find the value of D. I want to get rid of this minus 4. Okay, so this time, actually, to get rid of that, what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to get, because it's divided by minus 4, I'm going to times it by minus 4. I'm going to times it by minus 4 because a minus times a minus is a plus, and I want this to be a positive D. Okay, this has to be a positive D. So I'm going to times it by minus 4. And that leaves me with D. Okay, because minus 4 times minus 4. It's because a minus divided by minus gives me a positive, and I want this to be a positive D. Okay, because I've times that side by minus 4, I have to do the same and times this by minus 4. 5 times minus 4 is equal to 5 times minus 4 is equal to minus 20, because a positive times a negative will give me a negative number. And let's just check if that's correct. Minus 20 divided by 4 is 5, because a negative divided by a negative gives me a positive. Now, don't worry if you're a little bit confused with the positive and negative side of it, okay? We will spend a lot more time going over that later, but I just wanted to introduce it today, just as an idea. Okay, can you please, copying them out like I have, using the same methods as I have a go at these, and that'll do us for today then. So for example, on this one, because it's times, we're having to divide by 7. We divide by that 7. Remember, on this one, because we're dividing by 2, we'll be timesing by 2. Okay, so it's those sort of things we're adding each time, isn't it, in order to find out the values. Okay, have a go at those, please. That'll do us for today, and then we'll carry on with it next lesson. Okay, thank you. Bye.